it wasn't fulfilling for me. It wasn't giving, let's check in because I have some thoughts. Y'all, I have never been more excited for a book package in my life. Okay, I stumbled across this TikTok shop account. Seller was selling a bundle of 10 blind dates with a book for $65. 10 books for $65. Now, I did peek. I'm sorry. I could not contain my excitement. I just had to look at it. I just had to get my eyes on this, okay? This video, we are going to be reading some of the blind dates with the book. We're probably gonna read out of the 10. I'm not gonna read all 10. I'm probably just gonna read maybe like 3 or 4 for this video. And then if this video does well, I'll go ahead and continue that on. My hope for this box and this package is that one, all the books are in really good condition, because I don't know if these are new books or if they're used books. I'm not 100% sure. Price point, they're about $6.50 a book. Secondly, I hope I get books that I don't own. I own a lot of books, y'all. Like, I own a lot of books, okay? So I'm just hoping that I'm not getting any duplicates. I hope that I get books that have intrigued me or that I have come across on TikTok in some way, shape, or form. I also hope that I have like at least 1 or 2 new authors to me. I did let the seller know that I love romance and thriller for the most part, dark romance, etc., etc. So I'm hoping all the books fall into that category. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna unbox this box together. This is the box, okay? We're gonna unbox the box together. And then I am going to pick one. We're gonna pick the very first book for us to read. I'm so excited, okay? I'm so excited. Okay, so here's what the inside of the box looks like. Oh, these are wrapped really cute too. Okay, so we have one hardback. We have a paperback. We have another hardback, a paperback. I'm just hoping that I got my money's worth, y'all. That's all I'm really hoping. These are all of the books. Ah! They're so cute. Look at how cute these are. I am really excited to jump into these. So I think what I'm gonna do, we're going to randomly draw what book we're gonna be reading today. So let's do that really quick. I'm going to get a number generator to pick. I wanna say maybe we'll do 3 books for this video. And then at the end of the video, we'll go ahead and unbox the rest of them, because I don't think that I can keep these wrapped like this for a second video or long enough to do a second video. So I'm going to unbox them by the end of this video so that I can see what books that I have. Okay, this is my first time trying one of these, but I have a number generator here, and I think we just tap. Oh, that's boring. Let me try to find a better one. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so we've got one that's a little bit more fun. So I created this spin the wheel kind of thing, and I just put the numbers of the books in the little panels. So we're gonna spin it, and then whatever number it lands on is gonna be the book that we're gonna use to start this video, and I'm so freaking excited. Okay. Okay, so it's on book number 3. 1, 2, 3. This is the book. I'm nervous. Okay, so this book is, I've never heard of this book before, but this one is called Tracy Garvis Gray's On the Island. All right, so I just immediately got the ick. I'm getting rid of this book. There's no way in hell that I'm reading this book. And it actually just kind of pissed me off a little bit. So I apologize if my energy just shifted. But y'all, this book is about the main characters. It's an age gap. And the boy is 16 and the female main character is 30 years old. I'm sorry, but no. So I went ahead and I respun the wheel. I got number 7, and so we're gonna go ahead and pick number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the book, and I'm gonna let y'all see before I do. I'm just gonna close my eyes. Ooh, okay. So this one is Things We Do in the Dark by Jennifer Hillier. Okay, this is a solid one. Okay, so since this one is a thriller, I'm not going to read too much into the synopsis. I know by glancing at the synopsis, this has something to do with the main character's husband's. And I've heard really good things about Jennifer Hillier, so I'm excited about this one. This is gonna replace the first one, so we're gonna go ahead and pick 2 additional books because I do wanna read 3 books for this video. Okay, so we went ahead and picked the other 2 books. So the other 2 books that I selected are Blood Sun and The Overnight Guest. So I guess we're gonna be doing a thriller vlog essentially this week because all 3 of these books are thrillers. A few things to note, I guess all of these are used. I know for a fact that none of these are brand new. $6.50 for each book. With it being used, I don't know. But she got to make her coin. She got to make her profit off of it. So I'm not necessarily mad at it. I just do wish, I guess my only feedback for this box would be like, I wish that there was more included in the box. Either way, overall, I'm excited to jump into these books because these are all thrillers. This one seems really interesting and this one seems really, really interesting. I'm unsure about this one because this one is a YA. And so it could be a vibe. It definitely could be a vibe, but these are the 3 books that we're going to be reading for this video. So let's go ahead and jump right into reading the books. You tell I just woke up. I'm still tired and my cat woke me up this morning at like 5:30, but I decided to continue reading this book this morning instead of going back to sleep. I wanted to give a quick update because I'm a little ways in and now I know what the story is about. This story, it starts off with the main character, Paris. She's getting arrested because her husband is dead and everyone thinks that she's done it. Her husband is this famous actor. So there's a Hollywood aspect in this book. Of course, with her husband being dead and just the way that things are playing out, at least from the police's perspective, they think that she's done it. So this story is probably going to go in the direction of us trying to figure out if she's telling the truth, because right now her plea is that she didn't do it, and what that's gonna look like. I'm actually really excited. This is actually starting off really good. Like I said, I've never heard of this author before, but I'm hooked and I'm only like a chapter or 2 in. So yeah, that's where we're at so far. That's kind of the gist of the story. Yeah, that is where we are in Things We Do in the Dark by Jennifer Hillier. I've decided to keep this as just this one video. So we're going to be doing what I've been dying to freaking do since I put this up here, is open the rest of these books. I'm so excited. And maybe I'll add some of these to my TBR just depending on what they are. I've gotten a lot of thrillers, so I'm hoping that I have a little bit more than just thriller, and then also that they're not like the first one. Like I don't want any crazy age gaps or anything like that, or any crazy situations like that. So here is the first book. This one is called Before We Knew Him by Peter Swanson. So this is another thriller. Okay, now let's open a purple one. This is a hardback. Ooh. I think I might have this book already. If it is what I think it is, I think I have this book already. Yep. I have this book already in paperback. All We Ever Wanted by Emily Giffin. We have another hardback. That one might be cool to put into like a free little library though. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Drowning by TJ Newman. Okay, so I have Falling, I think, which is the first book. And okay, this is a solid pick. This was a very, very solid pick. We're gonna go ahead and do this one now. These all seem to be thrillers. I'm seeing a consistent pattern here. Hannah's War by Jan Eliasberg. And then we have the last two. Both of these are paperbacks. So this is the one that kind of came open. This is The Sweetheart List by Jill Shalvis. And I will say, out of all of them, this one is the one that's in like the best condition. And then last but certainly not least, Before I Let You Go by Kelly Rimmer. So most of these books that came in this haul were thrillers. These are all of the books. And I'm gonna say, okay, so keep in mind, this box was $70. So with that being said, with that in consideration, I would say that this box, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. Because, well, for one, this isn't really the seller's fault, but I already have this book. But all of these books definitely came from the thrift. All of these are used. None of these are brand new. There are no popular books in this haul, which is not really like required, but it would have been nice to get a little surprise, especially with places like Book Outlet. And there's a lot of thrift stores now too that also have a lot of really popular books in them. So it would have been nice to get some variety in that sense. Like I said, I think this person is a small business owner, so I'm not like being too picky about it, but I have to be honest in a sense of that. Other than I think this one and maybe this one and maybe this one, I think honestly I will likely end up unhauling a lot of these and getting rid of them. So I am a little bit disappointed to that sense, because this, I just, maybe if like there would have been more creativity thrown into this package versus it just being random books, random thrifted books, you know what I'm saying? My brain kind of goes to the sense of like, it could have been better. So I think a 6 out of 10 is a fair judgment, is a fair critique. I'm not mad at it. However, not the best either. You know what I'm also sitting here thinking now that I've just been sitting here doom scrolling? I could have gone to Goodwill and got these books for like $3 a piece and saved half that money. 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. All right, y'all. Let's check in because I have some thoughts. What we're going to do is we're going to start with the positive, which is the one book that I actually read in this video, and that is Things We Do in the Dark by Jennifer Hillier. Now, this is the only positive thing, I'm not even going to lie, about this box. I was really, really excited about it, but then given the circumstances, it kind of dwindled down, which we'll get into in just a second, but I really want to get into the review of this book. I absolutely love this book. I tabbed it up. This one I believe was a 4.5 star for me, or a 4-star for me. I'll put my review up here so that you guys can see it. But I love this book. It was a page turner. It definitely made me want to pick up more books by Jennifer Hillier. I loved the storyline. I loved the layers of the story. There were so many different things and so many different layers and possibilities, and every time I thought that I knew what was happening or what the plot twist was going to be, I was surprised. There were some things that I was right about, and there were a lot of things that I was absolutely wrong about, but I absolutely love the story. I will say that parts of the story really, really, really broke my heart. The main character in this book, what was her name? It's been a little while since I've read this book. Paris. That's her name, Paris. And this book was so good. We have to delve back into the past to kind of bring us back to present. And there were just a lot of things to unpack, a lot of things to uncover, a lot of secrets to uncover. and this was just, it was a ride. It was for sure a ride. Like I said, this is something that caught me by surprise. I was actually really thrilled that I was able to get this book. Now, was it worth $70 because this was the only book that had a leg to stand on in this box? No, it was not. This one, like I said, it was a really enjoyable experience, and I thoroughly loved this book. Now, other than that, okay, getting on to the review of the book box itself. I did not love this box, and I think I gave it a 2 star on TikTok, but I think I was being really generous because, like I said, I don't really like to tear down small business owners. I don't really enjoy that. I try to give people grace and the benefit of the doubt when it comes to that, but I really do think that this box lacked intention. And when we're having the conversation surrounding blind dates with a book and if they are worth your money, these are the kinds of things that are taken into consideration to consider whether or not it is a waste of your money or not. Like I said, this book box was $70. I got 10 books in it. And granted, 10 books for $70 is a really, really, really good deal. But first and foremost, the books were used. Secondly, it felt like the box was leftovers. The books did not have any kind of theme. They did not have any kind of intention behind the selection of the books. At least that's what it felt like. The reason why I say that is because some of the books that were in this book box they just looked like leftovers. They weren't books of any quality, at least from what I could see from the surface. I was kind of unmotivated to continue reading any of the books. I think that thriller was like the theme, I guess, so to speak. But again, like I said, there was just no intention. There were some books in this box that were like the second or the third book in the series. And it literally took me a matter of like 2 seconds to do a Google search to see, okay, this is like the third book in the series. I'm clearly not going to be able to read it in this vlog, or read it this go around. I'm not going to go out and buy 2 3 more other books just so I can get to the book that was put into this box. And that's why I'm saying it was giving leftovers, the quality of the books, the condition of the books. And mind you, I'm not even necessarily mad at the fact that they were used because it's a $70 box for 10 books. But with the accessibility that we have to places like Goodwill, Book Outlet, we have libraries, like libraries have their sales on books and things of that nature. Like the selection could have been better. Like there was no time put into selecting the books to go into this book box. And that's what I think gave me a little bit of a bad taste and kind of made me second guess giving it a 2 star because it's been some time since I finished reading the book and that I've completed this video. And I just, if I could go back in time, I would change my rating and lower it down probably to like a 1 star because, like I said, there was just no intention put behind it. I would not recommend this seller or this book box. And like I said, I'm not here to like tear a business down or nothing like that, but I'm going to give my honest review. I'm grateful that it was me and that it didn't hurt my pockets or nothing like that. But like, God forbid somebody was trying to have a cool content experience, or they were trying to have just a good experience in general, and they came across this book box, they would be like, oh my God, this is a really, really good deal. It's a small business owner. I can also support them and put money in their pockets. And then you get the box and it's extremely, extremely disappointing. Then there was the book that was in here that was it was an age gap, but it just was very icky. And I feel like if you're going to do a very vague book box, blind date with a book box, I think stuff like that should not be included. I'm a pretty open book when it comes to most things. I don't really have a whole lot of trigger warnings. I just don't really want to read about a minor and an adult. And even though there's been some time that's passed of whatever, I don't want any technicalities. I don't want to read about that. That's just not something that I find to be enjoyable to any degree. Like I said, I just think that there was just a lack of intent. There was a lack of consideration. And as fun as I wanted this experience to be, I did not enjoy my experience whatsoever. It was really disappointed. I feel like I wasted my money. And I would say that if you're going to do a blind date with a book box, maybe do one book. maybe do two. I'm gonna see if I can find another one. Maybe I'll do a part two later on to see if I can redeem this experience, because I would love to be able to do like a full video experience with me reading multiple books in a book box and it be a success. But this experience kind of leaves a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. I am not completely pessimistic about the opportunity to do it again in the future, but I personally would have rather taken that $70 and gone to a Goodwill and gotten books myself, or gone to my local library and, shuffled through some of the books that they had on their shelves. I find it very hard to believe that there was any kind of thought put into this book box. And as somebody, if I'm giving you my money, if I am selling you a product, if I am whatever the case may be, there should be a little bit of an expectation of quality of what you're selling, intention, things of that nature. Like, I don't mind spending a coin. I don't mind spending good quality munty hunty on something that's going to be beneficial to me, something that I'm going to get a good experience out of. Their books by at the end of the day. And I also don't mind spending a little extra for small business owners, indie authors, etc., etc. Like, I have no problems whatsoever with those things. It's just a matter of feeling like I wasted my money, even at any capacity, when it came to this book box. I mean, even when the box came, there was no goodies put in it, there were no stickers. And y'all, Temu, you can get a pack of stickers for $1. Okay, like there are ways around this stuff if you do your research and you do stuff with intention. Like, there are ways that this seller could have put a beautiful box together with minimal resources but with intention, and still had it be a success. It just felt like overall this box was just thrown together. It was the leftovers. There was no thought put into it. So yeah, those are my final thoughts. I apologize if they were all over the place. I tend to babble, but that's what this channel is for, okay? Because my short form content, I tend to be more restricted, but here we're a little more free form, okay? Because I be talking or whatever. But yeah, those are my thoughts. I 10 out of 10 would not recommend, and maybe we'll try again in the future. But until then, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.